Hey guys, welcome back to G-Rod Grills. My name is Gerardo and this is my channel. If this is your first time you're here, thanks for stopping by. And don't forget, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any content. Today we're going to be making something that's a little bit different than what I normally would make on my channel. We're going to make a super simple smoked peanut butter cup cheesecake on my Traeger Pro 780. This cheesecake is so good and super simple. The best part of it is that you can adapt it to whatever flavor you like. You ready to make some cheesecake? Let's get cooking. Alright, so like I said, this is super simple to make, not a whole lot of ingredients and not very difficult. So you're going to need 3 packages of cream cheese, so 3 8-ounce packages. You're going to need 1.25 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 3/4 cup sugars, 1/4 cup of melted butter, 3 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and a springform pan. Also, I'm using peanut butter cups here, the little mini peanut butter cups for the cake itself. You don't have to use those, that's up to you. You can use crushed Oreos if you'd like, or whatever topping you'd like to go in your cake. I'll show you how it all comes together right now. Alright, so here's the first step. You take your melted butter, 1/4 cup melted butter, into the cookie crumbs, or the graham cracker crumbs, and then just mix it together. The butter is just going to be the binder for the crumbs. It'll get this kind of wet consistency after you've got it nicely mixed. And then we're going to press it into a 9-inch round springform pan. There's no need to pre-bake this one. I know there's lots of recipes out there that say you do this and then you bake it and let it cool. Not here. Less steps the better. Okay, so now that we've got that set, the next thing you want to do is go set your smoker, turn your oven on to 350 degrees and let it warm up. You're going to want to have it sit at 350 for a good 20 minutes before this goes in. Next thing we're going to want to do is start mixing this cream cheese here. We're going to start mixing it on slow here, and then I'm going to add the sugar. And the vanilla, and we're just gonna let it go until it's fully mixed in. So once you're at this kind of consistency here, you see how it's really creamy. We're gonna wanna turn this back down to low, maybe about this speed, and we're gonna add 1 egg at a time. And that's it for our batter. The next thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna fold in the Reese's peanut butter cups. The key here is put your peanut butter cups in the freezer up until you're ready to use them. This will keep them nice and firm, and they hopefully won't melt on you or when you mix them. Now that you've got your mixture all ready, we're going to want to pour it in on over top of the crust. There you have it, and that's ready for the smoker. Alright, so here we are. We're going to set it in the smoker. The Traeger's been running for a good 20 minutes, and we're just going to throw it in there. This is what I like to do. I like to put a rack in there, and then I put my cake or my pan on a sheet pan. I'm just gonna put it in the middle. This will make it easy for me to turn to without having to grab the springform. Put it right on the cooler side of the grill in the middle of the rack here. And we're gonna close the lid here. And we're gonna let it go for 45 minutes without looking at it or touching it. And at that point, we're gonna check it and we'll see how that goes. Alright, here we are. So it's actually been probably about an hour and 5 minutes since we put this in. Just going to give it a little jiggle. Hopefully you can see that it's a little bit jiggly in the center, but not so much around the sides. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to call this ready to go. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn off the Traeger and we're going to let it cool off in the barrel here. So although I let mine cool off in the grill itself, I actually wouldn't recommend doing that. As you'll see a little bit later on, it led to a little bit of cracking on the top of the cake. So I would actually pull this out now and just let it cool off on top of the stove. If you're doing this in the oven, then absolutely pull it out and just let it cool off for a good 20 minutes to half an hour, and then move it over to the fridge. So while your cheesecake cools, we're going to want to make the ganache that's going to go over top of the cake. Now this is completely optional and you don't really have to do this at all. But what you do is you take a cup of cream and let it boil like you see here. And then you take a heat-proof bowl with about a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips on it and pour the hot cream or the boiling cream over top. Once you've got that, just let it sit for about a minute or so, and just so that it softens up those chocolate chips. And then once we have got there, you're going to want to just whisk it all together so that it mixes into a nice little ganache, or something that you can spread over a cheesecake over top. Alright, well here's the cheesecake after it's cooled down. It's clearly cracked a little bit, but that's alright. We'll make it work. We've made our topping, our chocolate topping. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it over top, and then we'll smooth it out and then put some peanut butter cups, and then we'll be finished. Alright, well there you go. Like I said, super simple. Probably the hardest part was just waiting for it to cool down, but other than that, not a big issue here. Here is your peanut butter cup smoked cheesecake done on a Traeger Pro 780. It's super simple to do. Hopefully you can see it's coming through nicely. It looks good. Now let's taste it. Yep. I mean, peanut butter cups are awesome, but it's nice and creamy, velvety, not dry on the inside, doesn't fall apart. This is really good. Yeah, really good. If you like what you saw today, make sure you hit that like button. Got any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any content. Until next time, we'll catch you on G-Rod Grills. Mm-hmm.